Hey guys, I'm here to present my action research projects. We just wanted to say, hey, it's good to see you, metaphorically speaking. So the problem that I would like to research has to do with science fair. The last few years, we have had an annual science fair for 6th through 12th graders, but actually having the entire school participate. But in particular, upper school has had to do a very in-depth research project. Anytime I have talked about science fair, the students' faces are usually like this. They don't want to do it and they cringe. And a main part of that is because they struggle with writing a quality research paper. And so because it doesn't come easy, obviously they don't want to do it. So I'd like to help them along the way. The setting that I would like to do my research project is at my school, ACA, with my 8th grade physical science class. And I've chosen this class in particular because there are 6 different first languages represented. And for most of them, English is either their second, third, or fourth learned language. So I've chosen a few diverse participants. The first student is Korean, and so they speak Korean as their first language, and then Spanish and English. The second one is a Taiwanese student whose first language is Portuguese, and then Chinese, and then English. And the third one is from Argentina, whose first language is Spanish, and second one is English. Now, the research question that I would like to pose is, how do inquiry charts or eye charts enhance the writing of students' science fair research papers? So this is what the inquiry chart looks like and what every student would receive. The main goal of the inquiry chart is to develop 4 different questions to be answered by researching 3 different sources. And students will read a particular source and answer the 4 questions. And then they will read 2 other sources and fill in their answers. And then they are to compare and evaluate to see if the sources are credible and if they are saying the same things, or they need to find out if there's conflicting data, which would lead to more research and really finding out the truth of what they need to be looking at. So to talk a little bit about the eye chart a bit, it was first developed by Jim Hoffman in 1992. And he did it in order to help scaffold critical thinking through inquiry. And so, as we all know, scaffolding is absolutely essential for culturally and linguistically diverse students. And really, it's essential for any student to have those building blocks to learn and to build upon. And so, the inquiry chart really helps with that. There are 3 phases or 3 stages of the eye chart. The first one is the planning phase, which includes topic identification, question formation, eye chart construction, and materials collection. And so in the eye chart, the first phase would be the first part of the eye chart. So students will write what their topic is and identify 4 questions that they need to answer and they need to look at. And they would also, if they need to, draw the eye chart in their notebook, or you can provide them with a piece of paper if necessary. The second stage is the interacting phase. This would include an exploration of prior knowledge and beliefs, a sharing of interesting facts and new questions, and actually reading and recording what the students have read. And activating prior knowledge can prepare students to subsequently engage in an activity with great potential for conceptual reorganization. So in our eye chart, the interacting phase would include the box shown. Before reading, students would answer the row of what I know. So for each question, they would try to think about and activate their prior knowledge, maybe to help connect them personally to the material that they are about to be studying, to prepare their minds. And then as they read a source, they're going to answer each question with the answer that is found in that source. They're also going to note any interesting facts that they read about or any keywords that stand out. And after reading, if they have any new questions that are stimulated, they need to write those down. And hopefully, they will research further those new questions with other sites. And so for each source, every student would do that, which leads to the third phase, which would be integrating and the evaluating phase. And in this stage, students would summarize, compare, research, and report. It's important for the students to summarize and learn how to do it well because it requires them to move beyond a literal level to synthesize information. And by doing this, students need to account for converging information as well as conflicting data and constructing their summary statements. And so this will help them to move out of the lower levels of Bloom into the higher levels of Bloom. So yay, moving up to the higher levels to evaluate and analyze. And so in our eye chart, the summary portion will be the last row, and students are required to look at the 3 answers they got from the 3 different sources and compare them, evaluate them, figure out, are they all saying the same thing? Is what I found credible? Do I need to do some more research and find out if there are some problems with conflicting data? It will hopefully help them to spur them on to doing a little bit more research and more in-depth findings. And so when students are first given this eye chart, it's suggested that it becomes a we chart first. So a teacher will facilitate the assignment, and as a class, you work together to fill in their first inquiry chart. And once they have gained the confidence and the knowledge of how to complete it, they will be required to do it individually and do the eye chart on their own. The way I'd like to research this is by giving them a pretest just to find out how much information that they are beginning with to start their research project. And then after they finish the inquiry chart, I'd like to complete my own rubric and a survey just to find out like if the students chose scholarly sources, if they compared and analyzed the data correctly, if they summarized well, and if they came up with new and substantial questions. Because I really hope that through the inquiry chart, as the name suggests, the students want to inquire more about what they are learning. And then once they turn in their paper, I would like to do a survey to see if the students actually used their eye chart, if they added information from it, and if they used their own personally developed questions in their paper. And then to conclude, I'd also like to have individual student interviews to find out what their opinions were throughout this process, if they think that it helped them or if it didn't. So to gain that qualitative data for this research project. Here are my references. And you made it to the end, so yay! Thank you for listening, and I look forward to seeing you guys soon.